He's back, I think. Yeah, he's back. Welcome back, sir.
Welcome back.
We can't hear you.
Still trying to set up his audio.
Right, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Excellent. My power just flickered and I'd not connected my inverter yet. Of course, you know Nigeria, we did. Right. So we were at a point when we counted that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have got 5 pieces of paper here. Can we confirm that? Now, when you say left to right, which one is your left, which is your right? Is this your right?
Yes, that's right.
That's your right, right? So you can now, let's go from that right to the left so that you can now make a choice. This is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 positions. So please say your name and I'll pick your ballot for you. Say your name and your position. This is the position number 1, position number 2, position number 3, position number 4, position number 5. So say your name and I'll give you your number. Who starts? Abdullah Abubakar. What position? 2. Position number 2. That's this one then. That's this one. Am I right? That's this one. Yes. Excellent. So Abubakar, here is your number. So the highest of this number is our head of house for the week. And the next to the highest will be our deputy head of house for the week. So I'm opening the first selection. And what's that? What is that? Sorry, I have, this is number 5, Abdullah Abubakar. Yeah. Number 5, Abdullah Abubakar. Does that send a signal? Abdullah Abubakar, number 5. So please, the next one, pick your ballots. Next person.
That's you, Kwaplong.
All right. This is number 1. Number 2 has gone. Number 3, number 4, number 5 position.
Number 5.
Number 5. Here is the number 5. Here. So I'll get you your number. This is interesting. 1 minute, please. Open up, open up, open up. So that position number 5 is, can you see that?
No, I can't. It's like 1, I mean.
Number 1.
Yeah, 1. Yeah.
That's position number 5, number 1. Okay?
Okay, noted.
Noted. Now, more?
Above Farouk Rabo.
Yeah, we have left position number
4.
1, 2 missing, gone, 3 and 4, right? 4.
Number 4.
Yes. Farouk. Abu Farouk, number 4. Can you see that?
Yes, I confirm number 4.
Does this ring a bell? Does this carry any message? Okay, Abu Farouk number 4. Okay. Now, can we complete it? Who hasn't gone yet? Who has not gone yet? Okay. In the absence of further, is it that we already calculated the results?
Yes, the head of house and the deputy head of house has been already
determined. Excellent. Okay. So, like, if you were a computer programmer, and you're supposed to subject it to a lot of recursive looping, why want to waste your time again? Great. So, thank you so very much, and good morning. Good morning, all. Now, I think today, let us actually invite number 5. Abdullah Abubakar, number 5, right? Abdullah Abubakar, please, can we have your image? Can we have your image? Can we have your face? As we declare the results. Yeah, Abdullah Abubakar. You are muted. You are muted. You have to speak. Sorry. Now, you have actually picked number 5, and that makes you a head of house for the week. We will share with you all that you have to do within the week, and congratulations on this. Then we also have number 4, Agbo Farouk. Is Agbo Farouk there? Let's hear from you.
Yes, sir.
Are you accepting to be deputy head of house?
Accepted.
Accepted, because somebody else is waiting. No. All right. So thank you so very much. That exercise is concluded. Unfortunately, it has to go the way of male, but that's not impossible because the female participation seems low. But this is exactly where we are going. We have to improve on this, even on the national scale. Right. So thank you so very much, everyone. Let me just share that now in the course of meeting invitation, can somebody read for us the program? What was it that we said we are coming here today to do? Can somebody just read through our agenda? Okay, Abdulaziz, are you engaging us?
Hello. Okay. Hello, Musa.
What was the agenda? What in the message we passed across? What was the agenda? What is it that we're supposed to do?
So, as shared earlier.
Yes, please.
That the meeting, first of all, is for the determination of the head of house and the deputy head of house that will articulate the activities of the team.
Excellent, thank you.
And that has been done.
Has been done, yes.
Of course. And then this meeting serves as a foundational camp.
Thank you.
For the technical state representatives.
Very correct, yes.
Are going to co-design their communities programs and ensure the full participation of their people. Excellent. Right from the local government level.
Good. Thank you so very much. Can somebody help him from there? Somebody else? Can somebody else help him from there? The program is open, is in the group. Because I actually want a very interactive engagement. This volunteerism has a lot of work to go, a lot of work to do, and it's not on paper. This is not just of our head or conference. It's not a conference, it's not, but but there's a whole lot to do back, and we are doing all this that we are thinking about must impact your immediate environment in the long run. Yes, can somebody take up from where Abdulaziz stopped? Mr. Agbo? Yeah, hello, Mr. Agbo. Right. Let me just share back again that in the link to the meeting that we shared, let me just we're trying to take our understanding of the agenda. What was it that we're supposed to do today? In the course of it, one of the very primary one there was to have the leadership of the group. So we have just scaled through that. And the next is to engage the meeting itself. And engaging the meeting itself, we have items like a review of projects for the 1 million targets in 36 states. So let me just share that this project is targeting 1 million youths across the 36 states within this new decade. It appears 1 million might be very small, but to be frank with you, Programmers Foundation is a very small foundation. We are just doing great things that is looking as if we can do such a large thing and what the way it is. And knowing the country that we belong, we try to go at the little pace that we can go, knowing fully well that the little that we're able to do, we can scale this in many folds within a few years to come. And that the second was that the project prayers was that when we say we want to educate or create an incubation for people, we need to be able to see how we get the government of the various regions involved. Because in the course of our past programs, if Programmers Foundation has not footed the cost of doing all these things for the people to benefit, then it may be that it is only the children of the well-to-do, the children of the rich are only the people that will have the opportunity of accessing the kind of things that we have been doing over the last 10, 15 years. So we, by the strategy now, try to see how we engage each of the state governments to see how they can champion and perhaps look at it, at least as one of those small things that they can actually engage, which automatically will influence their political programs across the states. Because doing good is not just doing anything. Doing good must be that you are doing something that the youths of the environment are finding value in. You are taking them to points where they can actually help themselves, and not just that you are doling out money for the fun of expenditure. And this is actually the kind of thing. So the prayers that we've been looking at is that the platform for us to do this, no matter how low that can be, the state government should be able to foot that for us. In terms of content of all the tuition, in terms of facilities, resources that we're able to bring in, we have done the best we can that we are going to keep it at the lowest ebb as much as possible. And we try to go in a manner that whatever it is that we do, we make sure that these people should be the kind of people who, when they learn one thing, should be able to also share it with many others around them so that we can expand the size. Because it's important that we cannot do it all, and we must be able to share the knowledge. This is a knowledge economy. We need to be able to share the knowledge and make sure that every other party next to us are also doing one thing or the other in building the nation alongside what we think we deserve. So we look at platform fee, and the platform fee in each state must be very simple, and to try to make it so cheap. You know why? We try to domesticate the knowledge portals. And that is one of the few things that we need to be able to. I'm going to show you how you can actually put up an e-learning portal that in each state. Nasarawa has how many local governments? Nasarawa has how many local governments?
13.
13. So if Nasarawa has 13 local governments, and Zamfara has how many local governments?
Zamfara, we have 14 local governments.
Yes. So Zamfara has 14 local governments. So all we are saying is that in each of these local governments, are you telling me there are no innovative human beings that can do good for each of the local governments? So we actually want to start from there. So in the course of this program, because we feel that nominations for this program must be fair, it must cut across all the local government, because we're actually going to discover as many people as possible from all their various corners. Let me tell you, some people are doing excellently well, but guess what? Nobody is opening them up for them to see their future opportunities. And that is why two roles that all of you guys here now, there are two things we are doing in this country. One, you are playing the role of expanding the United Nations World Summit Awards projects in your states. And your state is just one out of 30-something states across the country. So we will share with you what the World Summit Awards project is all about. That is the WSA. Then we also share with you what the ICT for Seeds capability programs, what they are for, and why you doing this can go a long way to helping yourself, helping your immediate people, and helping your governments. Yes. And you now see that the prosperity that we all talk about, being rich, is on your palms. Perhaps if you can look a little further, given the new opportunities of technology. So I want to just wrap this program up in a manner that, let's look at these two interventions. They are too critical, and I've never joked with these two projects in the last 1 decade. And because I have shared these sessions in past videos that I always ask you to go and look, because we don't have all the time for all of it now, except if I might just want to flip through them because of a short meeting that we are supposed to have now, so that we can actually have an idea of where we are going. We can tell our stories, and the stories are yet. We've not even done anything yet. Nigeria just needs to be a little more productive. And so once we can, and we can actually begin to work on that cultural mindset for the youngest person to the oldest person, Nigeria will be better for all of this. So we now realize that each of these local governments, because if I look at the cost of doing certain things might be too expensive, because we should live beyond what we are doing now. I'm talking about 10-year program. If you build an online portal for each of the local governments at the beginning of a decade, that portal can remain there, and you'll be enhancing that portal over a period between now and 10 years to come. Very economical. No government is doing budget for us. It's not about money, but it's about your head. The little sustenance that come, because the very first thing is that we need to build capacity as much as we can. And the capacity that you need to build is by introducing, giving people opportunity to see what other or some other parts of the world are doing, that they are looking better. Like I will always say, what we mean by innovation bed is that when you say opportunities like what we are doing here, you have a lot of people that we interact with all over the world. Nigeria has a lot of problems. Look at us here. Ghettos, shanties. This is an average Nigerian city. But then it will take you and I to now begin to be educated on all the emerging technologies that can change this to our desired future. You know, to an ideal, what we call ideal future connected city. It takes human beings to build it. It won't just happen. And it won't be by national budgets. You can be changing trillions of budget every year, forget it. You are speaking digital economy in the air. You know, your smart city responsibility rests on your palms. Smart homes, security-wise, and some other essence of living. Education that is now being threatened by COVID and all the rest. We've had it worse before, and COVID is complicating matters. Data, information, being free, available to who needs it, and of course protected. The innovations around the Internet of Things that should come in here to help us develop these shanties. Smart city, general smart city and urbanization technologies and innovation. And I know, look at health. And some of us are already doing things already. So we're trying to see how we can leverage on all these resources. For those who have excelled, we'll bring them back onto this incubation. Match them with people who have capacity to develop a lot more and move faster. And they can begin to accelerate things in their various regions. We shouldn't wait for a government. The government is even needing help from the innovation communities. They're needing help, to be frank with you. Now, by the time you are able to offer solutions that can help this major problem of the national economy, then what we'll be looking for will now be a desired New York-looking town, Brussels, Europe generally, United States. Look at that. Beautiful technologies and cities that are almost talking cities, man. Beautiful. When you go there, you know you are somewhere. Flights all over the place, trains all over the place. Security intact. But they didn't buy it. They didn't purchase it. They worked to develop it. So, and the generation that we are talking about here will be involving so many public-private partnerships, intergovernment partnerships, utility partnerships, innovation hubs, entrepreneur programs, platform partnership, you know, and things that can make us not just fast track, because the language fast track doesn't even work for us. We need to, you know, we need to genetically accept these changes and make sure that it's working with our culture. You know, and make sure that it is actually working with our culture. So you now see the need for me to have a technical team across the states, because you need to have the right conscience. We need to know have the right readiness. Now, it is beyond being in school. Oh yes, I went to school. Oh, I must have missed it when I was in school. My worry is I want to intercept you while you are still in school so you don't miss it like us. That's why this program is meant for anybody that is in school. I have left school. I'm on my own. I'm doing something I don't have anything to do. We have researched and we have produced so many outcomes in the various class of possible human beings. And you can't blame them. It is the situation they find themselves and the kind of environment they find themselves. But then we should move above board and stop complaining. We can't be complaining. And there is nothing that you do now that is in vain. You will reap. There will be gains. Yes, there will be gains. I started this project playing with it. But to be frank with you, there are gains. Even I've not even started. There are gains. I've not even started. So I will actually implore us to take this these sessions very, very seriously, in that the strategy should be that we are trying to build some powers, but the powers of people like you who have access to the other people around you, and you need to grow your community, you know, in a manner that is prosperous, you know. So in the course of doing this, we still shared more of the prayers in the program to say that participant data allowance, government should be able to help all our participants in the cost of paying for their platform. They should also provide something for data, because we realize that if we take you to the internet, if you don't have data, you can never remain there for long. And today, data is life. And that is why some people have called for internet as a fundamental human right. But that is just English language. This may not work everywhere. Because that we are talking about is not free, it's at a cost. And whether such governments will want to listen to that kind of policy and adopt is a different thing altogether. You know, so the foundation donations that can help in doing this is why we are talking and leveraging with government. Government can now help us with certain local enterprises around the states that can also help us augment whatever it is that we are doing, so that we can, of course, appreciate and give honorariums or so to the people that we are using as our faculty people from all over the world. Startup assignment of group members, a valid listing of local governments and their administrators. We mentioned that this project is not English language on the internet, though it's going to be virtual. There's a lot of research project that is going to happen on the ground, on premise. So let us validate that our local government is complete. Let us validate that we can access them. Let us also validate that we have a complete list of the ministries that our governments have put together to work, because whatever we are doing must impact positively on these ecosystems. The people in local government, the government ministries that actually configure to form the government of your states. Things you do, things you know, must impact how they can progress. Now, the next is, now, 3B in my session here says, valid list of all ministries in the state and contacts of commissioners to engage them with respect to seeking their support and collaboration in our Fix a Gap research work during the incubation. We will want to understand what areas they are making progress in digitization, and their areas of weakness that we can train local manpower to fill the gaps for them in a short time. Now, initial talks on how we commence the design of innovation development capacity e-learning portals for each local government areas of your state as a donation to the government on our behalf as a foundation. Work done will be done by a team of the indigent participants of each local government. We have not started to onboard or register people from any of the states yet. This discussion was very important that we understand very well, so that we can begin to onboard people. We are not just onboarding people. We have to know the person that we are onboarding. Is this person not just going to say that because government is going to pay for something for him to be a part of? Will he not just come and joke over this project? Please, we are not to come here and toy with the project because you were paid to join the project. All our programs are such that if you take it to heart, you can benefit and enjoy your life going forward. And that is the kind of scenario that we are actually repeating here in the course of doing this job on the field in real terms. And I must share with you the way we have gone in the past that might help. Some of these are such that I always use my background here to share a few things. I don't know, can you see this? Can you see this? Can somebody see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now, these are youths like you. I don't know what states, but now I'm bothered. I'm interested. I want to know where anybody that is innovating is coming from. Before now, I just sit in Lagos last 10 years, look for innovation in a very difficult mode. But you see, some people who are opportune to know me, know my foundation, they have accessed me. People like government and citizens engagement product person here who won as a national nominee. Tuteria. Does anybody hear the word Tuteria? Anybody here hear the word Tuteria? A product called Tuteria, an innovation product. You can go Google that up. Carrot.ng, TAC Chief, IceFair 360, SecPay. These are Nigerian youths, and they innovated, and they were acclaimed winners. And all these people, we are trying to harvest all of them back, to bring them back to see how they can help us build the next generation of youths. Now, look at, this was in 2018. Look at in 2019, all this. Now, he was here, Carol Dotenji was a national winner and was celebrated in Portugal. Now, look at 2019. You have government and citizen engagement arrangement. You have health and well-being. Check It Up. Have you not heard of Check It Up? Who here has heard of Check It Up? Check It Up is the Nigerian product that was detected on the determined on the World Summit Award Network in 2019, and I'm sure last year they made about $500,000 in seed funds and all of that. Our own is not to talk about money with you. I want to show you an opportunity where you can take your project to, and you can forever be making the money that you need for life. So you don't start with money at all, but do you even have what it takes? That's what you should go for. So all these are people that on the incubation that will help our next generation, and they are on their own stars and champions. You know, that is one class of people. You perhaps also will look at this other set of people. Oh, they might not show too well. These ones may not be innovators, but these are graduates. They just graduated and they are looking for a job. And this was in 2007, where we graduated more than 200 from diverse professions. I don't care what you read in school, but they are all graduates of different professions. That's a mechanical, this is an accountant, this is a mechanical engineer, a marketing person, and so on, and so forth. This one now is an MD of a stockbroking firm today. So we got them from different backgrounds. If you read Hausa language, Yoruba language, there is life, because anything you read, the content of whatever anybody has done in school is relevant in nation building. What you just need is to be innovative about it. And that is why when you have gone to class, photocopy, listen to teacher, and all of those things, you are only doing it for the purpose of passing the next exams. And guess what? When it's time for exams, okay, fine, you pass the exam and you move. The exam will leave you and you're also on your own. So we are changing that mindset that please, whatever it is that you are doing in class, listen to a teacher, copying the notes for the copying or whatever mode we are doing or whatever, and you're waking up to go to the class on a daily basis. Do not do this because of exam alone. Do it because of what you want to live with the content that you are doing right there in school. As you step out, you are already an employer in that profession. So many students who are regretting the courses they are on school now, this is the kind of mindset, this is the kind of thing that they need. So why would I say I'm doing sociology and I'm now using history to say, oh, because 10, 20 people did sociology, they didn't get job. But the issue is that you're even looking for the job in the wrong place. When you yourself can create the right job in the right place for the right value and for the right monies and prosperity. So it is we who can't be talking to ourselves. Let me be frank with you. Job seeking has stopped to be attractive. If you are looking for a job, it's almost becoming shameful. Being frank with anybody. Please note it from now. You will not find anybody looking for a job anymore. Job seeking is not attractive. It's not an attraction anymore. But job creation is an attraction as I'm speaking with you. So that is the kind of orientation we should begin to look at, right? So first is, let me share with you the website of the World Summit, because I told you all these contents are available in certain portals I'm going to share with you now, before I now go to your state portals, because we have not even started anything at all. Or before I do that, let me go to the digital services that should capture your conscience as to what you owe your state as a youth. So when I hear youths are leaders of tomorrow, please forget that thing. That is all political statements. Instead, to me, youths are owing the economies. And I'll share something with you very soon. Because the future that you are talking about has already passed. It is we who has to go anti-clockwise to catch up with that future and correct it back. We've already passed it. Now, I will share my screen briefly to show you something now. Yes, I'll share my screen briefly now. So permit me to share my screen. I want to explain some thoughts, just some thoughts.
We'll permit you.
Hello?
We permit you to show us ours.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, you know, I shared with you that this project before now has been undertaken by some youths that we got scholarship for last year, and I want to just share with you the journeys and the kind of mindset you should begin to have. That it's not just about you. Fine, yes, you want to be rich. I want to be prosperous. But the issue is that the more you can make your environment to be rich, the more your chances of sustaining the riches that they lead to, that you're able to make. Now, I'll share with you some things, and this was some content from Kano State that is the research that is still ongoing, and this research is cutting across the entire country. And we are going to domesticate this to what suits Nasarawa State and what suits Zamfara State for optimal research outcome that can guide a government as to what they need to do in subsequent times or years. Now, I'll just read this. Okay? We call it the Tech for Good Actions for the Political Class. Now, this is one of our fellows from Kano State, Ajia Hawa Sani Bello. Digital services development in Kano of Nigeria will begin to record unprecedented growth across numerous sectors, with more youth skilled up to offer leadership in societal developments on the UNICT for Seeds, Space for ICT, Smart Virtual Cities and Connected Communities Initiative in Nigeria. Youths are now able to design, build, and own automated innovative products or services that have the potential to positively influence the transformation of all existing medieval methodologies of service to production administration in the state, following the topmost priority hierarchy of state government development agenda. We have opened a national and continental internship program for young undergraduates from African universities. Now, the goal here is that I want you to see that you have so much to do. How difficult? IT in the first place can be a difficult thing, but we are not going to make it look difficult in any manner. Because in the first place, this project is multidisciplinary, meaning that you don't need to have been a computer person to even get to be involved and be successful in technology. So this was happen for every state. So as I'm speaking now and sharing with you what is to happen in a state like Kano State, you are to also begin to devise what works for your state if you love your state. Okay? First is that we need to look at our state government. What are they doing? What is their policy? Now, look at how some of our leaders, take for instance, in Zamfara, the Honorable Tambura, they have got clear goals. They want to do very fantastic things for the states. But you know what? Your own eyes are sharper and your visions are clearer than the elders of the states. So if you come very good, you will be the ones to offer a consultancy to earn a living when these politicians and these leaders are doing their work. They don't have all that time, and that's why sometimes we feel they are not doing the good that we are expecting. They may not even know. They need your assistance. You yourself don't even know. So have you done your research? Have you studied the policy of your state? And head of house, please take note. I will need a report of this because that's part of the thing. You need to document between the head of house and the deputy head of house. We need to articulate the strategic discussions that we have had that will help us in the next meeting so that we don't always miss it. We must leverage on our last talk. See how we build on it.
Okay, sir.
Yes, so we see how we build on it. I do not really expect that you are a storyteller or something. The little you're able to put together, some other people in the group or as we are going to expand will help us in rebuilding the entire story because this story must live after us. Now, our micro startups in Kano State will concentrate in solutions in the following sectors in the state: agriculture, artisanal services, culture, education, energy, environment, financial services, health, housing development, information technology, communication and infrastructure facilities development, technical assistance services, tourism, supply chain services, water, and so on and so forth. And we have calibrated the entire states in terms of, they have more local governments. So the research is ongoing. Nobody's giving me a dime for this, but then I'm telling you that the opportunities and the benefits are still in future, and you reap whatever it is that you're doing to your community. Because if your community is excelling, you individually will benefit in very due course. So you allow the politicians to do what they're doing, but you engage yourself and do what is needful for your society. Because we need data to get the right information as to even know how to help myself. Okay, now look at these headlines. For you to say you are a smart city, like I just shared with you, so many things are happening in so many advanced countries. And we have looked at all the digital services that are happening in all the advanced countries. Our own is to look at, we have tabled over 1,000 digital services in this table that you are seeing here. This table is yet to be created for either Nasarawa or Zamfara yet, because the project is yet to get started. But I need a strategic team that should have my vision so that this project does not look too difficult. It should not be too difficult, because life, this is what the life we live on a daily basis. So it's as simple as what affects us on a daily basis. So we can't see it as anything too complicated. It's not a PhD program, but in the course of doing what we are doing, you will see the part that is your BSc, you see the part that is your master's degree, you see the part that is your PhD in all the contents that we have put together as a foundation. It's very simple. And we should make it as simplified as possible and not make life too difficult for anybody. Now, I have a table here that tries to talk about some of the things that some of us are familiar with, either in the course of being in school, being in an administration, or as a citizen of the country generally. Now, in some societies, some things may affect us, some things might not affect us. So this is a research that I will also want some of us to look at very closely, because I'm going to share the screen with you later on, that I'm going to provide this screen for each of the states that you can actually also access. So the whole essence of going to this page is that in some of these services, which one is applicable to Nasarawa State? Which one is not applicable to Nasarawa State? Which one is applicable to Zamfara State? Which one is not applicable to Zamfara State? So that we can now begin to do like a harmonization of the sets of each of these things are digital opportunities that you yourself can begin to write application for to survive your next life. It does not matter whether 100 years to come. That is the new opportunities. People are not researching. Now, I'll just do a rundown. First is, we have identifier here, like a code, which can be like a country or state code. That can be later. But what matters is just the under the label and the description. First here is 16 to 19, bus refund. We have some descriptions. Abandoned bicycles. You know, in some places, if you travel to some towns, you just imagine how many bicycles they have on the road. You know, government just buys and stock them. Anybody can just pick a bike and ride to anywhere. But we are not in that city yet. We have not come to that. We are not there yet. But someday, what if it happens? What will happen to us? You know, you understand what I'm saying? So you can actually innovate ahead as these people have it and what have you. But most is that, like I told you, we need to begin to look at the most important, the less important, and the not important at all. You know, so next is abandoned bicycles, abandoned shopping trolleys. Now look at shopping trolleys in shops. You know the way people manage in big shops, when you enter big whatever, you just roll things, take it to your car, whatever. But sometimes they don't have control. So if you have anything that can put control into some of these things, they are innovation. That is money. So, and we can go on and on. We can go on and on by saying abnormal load notification, abandoned vehicles. Abandoned vehicles, can this not help transport agencies in the states? If you have an innovation that can monitor and manage things that are abandoned in places where they should not be, one, what's the social right? Do you want to correct, do you want to help the person who has the problem? Maybe the project, maybe the car or whatever was just abandoned because the car had a problem. You may actually do something that can immediately offer help to that person in that community and help the person that owns the car, so that the car can move away from there in due course and not cause a traffic issue, a traffic problem. You know, depending on the kind of municipal or city the place is, so that a car that is abandoned can cause traffic issues. So these are, if you are saying smart cities are thought of, they're a combination of several things, and we call them digital services that can help. And if it can happen in the US, it can happen in Nigeria. Now, accessibility, okay, there are more. Accessibility of local facilities, accessibility of websites, accident reporting, okay, accommodation certificates, activities for children and young people, activities for older people, actuary registration, acupuncturist registration. This might be more to the Chinese looking people, but don't forget that even in our own places, things like acupuncture, all those Chinese things, we're even adopting them here. So I don't know, but so many things. Address allocation. Some communities don't have addressing system. Yes, they don't have street numbers, no names. So, and I know in Ghana, some people have innovated things to use, they use certain, strategic locations in the various communities, you know, to create the way that can make people access anywhere you want to go to in Zamfara or go to in Nasarawa, whether in a village or a main city. So innovation are kind of developing some of those ancient problems that they've been having in the places. Okay, adoption of municipal land, depending on what the policy of the state is on land matters and all of that. Support agency registration, adult care plans, adult carers advice and support, depending on what, this depends on what works in the state, but there are over 1,000 of them. There are over 1,000 of them. Look at that. Advice for young people, is there anything that can help, like a campaign, like what we are doing now? How can some of these little campaigns reach out to people in the rural areas, perhaps in languages that they can understand? Because when you go to the villages and you tell a typical Hausa person, the smart city, the man doesn't even know what you mean by smart is. You don't even know what your city is. And you say data, he doesn't even know what data is. How many amount of languages? Digital policy. What is digital policy? Okay, digital, data, policy. All of these, they don't even know what it is. And you're saying their environment want to suddenly turn to digital economy. Do you want to take them from their domains? So they have to party to to what we are doing in terms of knowledge. Now, advice control. You look at advocacy for carers. Okay, like there's so many other things. Look at agriculture, agricultural land and licensing. Air ambulance, air conditioning system energy assessor accreditation, air handling units, and so many things that are related, like air quality, air rescue, air traffic control license. So many things that affect a community. We need to begin to work towards that aspect so that when the time comes, which we are, like I told you, we are overdue, somebody has to begin to plan for some of those things, because a digital society is not acquired, it is actually developed. And since this is happening in any community around us, they will happen here and they are happening. And when they happen here ordinarily, do you know what? We feel and get shocked because, oh, we see the thing happen, it looks like magic. You know, look at this. Alcohol advice and support, you know, allocated council homes, allocated parking spaces. Oh, parking spaces, you park in the wrong place. Some touts will just come up and harass you. But then, if the government wants to make money, there is a way you can legitimately put up certain innovation, and the government can allow people to park and they make the necessary monies out of the parking, because now parking can now be seen as a service. But we can now take off the molestation parts of that from our culture. Because it's money they want and money can go back to the system. You know, alternative care providers, alternative provision of education. There are so many. So all this. So in each state, we can now look at what is optimal. What is it in Nasarawa? What is it in Zamfara that a young innovator can begin to concentrate on? Either to put up some contents together, put up a mobile app, put up a web app, link them together, offer it as a service, attack or reach out to the ministry that concerned, and they will promote him. And you know, because you're already solving the problems that the ministries of health, ministries of education, ministries of agriculture were supposed to be doing, but they are not doing. Anything that they are doing as a problem, and you have research to know what their problem is, why waste your time? Go offer them the solution. They'll be happy that you have done it. They don't have to wait till an American is coming to offer them the solution. So please, let me just stop here and seek your opinion, please. So I'm not just the one talking. Let me seek your opinion. Tasiu from Nasarawa. Is Tasiu still in the house? Tasiu is out. Agbo, Nasarawa, can I hear your opinion?
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
I think, in my own opinion, this is a nice initiative. As a young Nigerian and a citizen of Nasarawa State, I've happened to school around the state mostly, and I only go out mostly on need to go out basis, like student events. And one of the things we normally do around here is we try to actually do most of those things that you are saying. We try to see how innovative we can come up as youth, and how we can sell these ideas to people that are actually well-to-do to promote most of those things, like the ministries as mentioned. So we find out that mostly, I don't know, for maybe it's within my state here, and I don't know, I can't speak for other states, but most of the problem we encounter as youth is whenever we approach most of those people, they feel as if we have a money-making mindset that we want to use the government for. So it got to a certain point that as youth, we try to do what we need to do to promote and to even educate and encourage more youth into what we are doing within ourselves, and try to, as much as possible, try to disease and leave the government out of the entire thing, because they feel as if we are out to make money or something like that. So what we basically do is we do it our own way, and it has really been helping, because like myself and Tasi, you have this Google developers community that we run in 2 local government. That's one in Lafia and one in Kefi, where I manage the one in Kefi and Tasi, you manage the one in Lafia. So we basically do what we need to do to promote technology and encourage youth into getting productive and learning something that will be beneficial to them. So as much as possible, since we have tried, because I remember there was a time we have gone to local government and tried to see, okay, we want to automate this system that you have been doing manually. And someone boldly told us, you want to take the messengers out of work or something like that.
Very correct.
But one thing they fail to understand, even when we elaborate to them, was this is not something that will happen on its own. Even if your boss has to employ someone to read emails for him, that means the messenger is still not out of service. The messenger can still be doing that service as in a digital form, not the manual method. But since that way is not working out, we try to do it in our own best way that we think is appropriate to approach it, because most people have the mindset that some people are out there just to make money by every means. It's definitely not like that. So what we keep doing is we do it our own best way. We have local events.
Innovation has no boundary; it's borderless. It's
definitely, sir.
But you see, you need to be very patient.
Sometimes
very patient.
Once we play it out and they enjoy it, they come back to us and say,
"Thank
okay,
you."
Something like this.
That is it. That's the spirit. Thank you so very much. That's a very good contribution. Any more contributions, please? Any more contributions?
Good afternoon, all.
How are you? Welcome.
Thank you, sir. You know, if you could remember, I sent you like 2 projects for e-gardens and
very well. We'll get back to it. Yes, we'll get back to it when the time comes up. We'll get back. That's exactly where we are going. I know you have been on top of it before now, but go ahead.
Yes, sir. I want to tell you that Abdulaziz that's in this group, Abdulaziz Garba.
Yes, Abdulaziz Garba, yes.
Yes, he owns it.
Excellent. Now that's exactly what we're doing. You see, the Innovationbed platform is such that we want to get their win-win. They have a demand. Every government has demand for innovative products and services. We are just praying they give us that platform and that demand so that we can successfully match what the environment needs. You know, when we say fix a gap research starts by identifying, is there a problem? The next is there a solution? Now, if the answer is no, we need to begin to look for how a solution can be offered. But then the other one is, if the answer is yes, solution, has this solution been adopted? If you do not adopt the solution, you will never get the answer to the problem in the first place. So The Fix the Gap research is a very simple intervention that for every state, we will know your problem. You will know whether the solution is available. You need to know whether it's adopted. If not adopted, we recommend. We can't force them. And in the course of we measuring whether that problem has been solved, we can state whether the state has a good will to solve the problem or not. Because that's where now politics comes in. And we can actually moderate that. Because we can actually, we can innovate political excesses via innovative research, which is the whole essence. Because we want them to be happy, and we want the community and the people to also be happy, and there should be a smart administration running across everywhere. And by that, on the overall, we are talking about a digital society that is actually using its own components and its own people to evolve, and not just that we are imposing something outside us which will never last. I understand where you're going there, and I know that project is still in the view, and we are keeping a league of all those initiatives. Yes, any more comments?
Okay, let me chip in for a time. In order not to deviate from the program, this program that we are talking about, when are we expected to start sharing? As I can see yesterday when I logged into the portal, I have seen that it is functioning and there is forum for taking in inputs of our youth. So when are we?
Yes, okay, excellent. That's a very good. That's why I call this meeting a technical meeting. Okay, let's put it that this meeting was just to be sure that I have the backing of these youths in each of the states to work with, because I will not be going to the honorable Tambra of this world, the whole DG, or the governor of this world, the whole governor to be working with. We need to implant technical youths in the states that we are going to walk through. And that is the formation that the prayer has been granted, that we have commenced as we are here today. And we're happy for that. So for their excellencies, the next, based on your question now, is that we will need their confirmation, because like I told you, we are looking at 1 million targets. And if I'm starting with these two states now, and we have Zamfara with about 14 local governments, right? And Nasarawa with about 13 local governments. But our targets, our minimum a year per state is 2,500. So it therefore means that we will likely have per local governments. The research portal is there, but that research portal is not within my powers to begin endorsement. It should be within the powers of you people from the states, because you need to understand, is your government really ready to help with the minimum for the states? The minimum is 2,500 participants. And we're going to commence, we plan to commence by middle of next month, February. And the program will run virtually for the next 6 months. 4 months, fine. We've added another 2 months because I do not expect everybody to be equally sharp, internet, blah, blah, blah. Based on our experience of last year, we have used that to research this particular one. So people have to be comfortable in all the components and things that we are going to drop there. So that at the end of the day, we are talking about this divided by 10 will be giving me about 250. About that on the average. So it means about 200, 250 per local government. So I will need you in-house to address this. And the management of how this registration will come about and the membership of this will come about should be like an internal state logic. I don't know whether you're getting me. So that we can be sure that the registrations are coming from the right local government, the right people. The right local government, the right people. So, and when we are done with this, We here still have to do some work on a one-on-one basis, because we still have to chat and talk with each and every one of them. And why we are doing this is purely psychological. Like I mentioned to you, we really need change makers, not just for the fun of government is doing something for us, because fine is a partnership with the government, but government should see that they have an outcome, a positive outcome. So it's not just for registering people who will not take it seriously because they are not paying a dime for the benefits. But we have an experience that when people don't commit their money to something, they do not take it seriously. So we're actually going to work on that conscientious psychology on the people who have registered from the various local government areas, and we're going to get their feedbacks. It's almost like getting a feedback on a one-on-one basis for them to really know what they are into. You know, so that is why I say that you in the state will help with this, because we will not be able to really pick on this very well. So that if you determine that we are good from next week, that we can begin to offer that place and open it, you will, what is the best mechanism? How and who do we go through? So that we don't get people from other places registering and just telling us they are from one local government for which they are not. Is there any way local government chairmen or representatives can come in? Or is there any such regional council that can help with getting the people from their states to help us with? That's my own question now. Can somebody help? Can we hear from Abdullah or anyone? Yes, okay, all right.
You know, meeting those people and talking to them and even making them understand, like you said, because they are not going to earn any money out of it. You know, it's difficult to even convince them in the first place. So I think we need time. We can see them, maybe the chairman or any government person, but we need time. Like here in our state, most of our commissioners and the governor, they're even traveling. You know, they won't be back.
Yes. So yeah, so that means in your state, you know the strategy that can work. If the local governments can help us, they'll be better at doing the better job for us than just keeping a portal and sending links to just anybody. And that is why I feel it shouldn't be opened yet. Like I got a registration for the first time. One person registered from Gozo. I had to call him right away. I want to know where he's from. He's actually from Gozo. I traced him to his school and I got the facts. And I was even the one that I was glad to add him to the Zamfara group. You know, because that was the kind of thing. But then we need to be able to, we have to be more strategic so that we don't just take an input that when we are done, it will be the futility, it will be in futility. But it must be a register owned by the states. Because for me, my prayer is the state should be able to look after these people for their future, not even after this regime, after this, even future tenors. We need to create a league of people that we have trained for their future health. So there are really people that I really want to see as change makers in their various regions.
Yes, it's okay, but we here at our own end, we have to think who is that person that really wants this youth to move forward.
Thank you.
Because some talk to them, but they will not act on it. But some of them really have that in mind. So if we see who we will talk to and somebody who can make maybe the local government chairman to act on it, you know, I think here in Zamfara is only the governor that can do that for us. So we'll talk to someone who can take us to the governor and we explain this to him.
Thank you. You know? Thank you. Thank you. So on one hand, that was it. No, this one actually called for the question of when can we begin to onboard. I said it's not within my powers because the strategy has to be clean, has to be accurate, and must be very advantageous to the communities. You know, like the Honorable Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on ICT in Nasarawa State had actually made very, very good, important points that it is important to engage all the local governments chairmen in Nasarawa State. And I think that's actually going to be a very good strategy. But then timing has to be a virtual relevance, because when we're saying talk to them, it's not about movement, it shouldn't be physical movement, because these are the same people who want to change their culture. So we need to really bring them to bear, bring them to the terms, to the reality that we can actually address all these local governments in one batch. And it's very easy and very economical. So it won't be about ceremony, but then the activity that we plan for the state for the future.
Yes, and I think in Zamfara, for us to have about 2,500 serious youths that really serious are really it's going to be hard for us. It's going to be hard, especially of insecurity that you cannot reach even those at the local government and ask them to come down to the, No,
they are not to come down. They are not to come down. They are not. That's exactly where we are going. Considering the risk, it's not only in Zamfara, even in Lagos, there's security issues all over the place. Our work will rest over the internet for safety 100% or even 90%. 90%. Occasional programs for on-premise will be occurrence by God as government desires. But quite frankly, we keep it remotely to protect each and every one of our people, not because they are on mobile, they are doing this, they are doing this. They can achieve it from their local, and that's the whole essence. Look at this program. You know, there was a time this program I was to be carrying people from the US, from Nigeria to the US. To go and do one program or the other. And I was like, even visa, how would that be? How would people be given granted visa? You know what it is when you want to go for visa? Okay, I'll go there, I'll talk, they will give me. So many people will go there, they won't give them. So how will the people that I want to benefit go there to the US to benefit? And thank God, as soon as COVID set in 2020, our programs they stood out, even far better than if I were to host it outside the country. So the power of the internet is very, very, very important. And that's the main essence, that this we cannot kill, because we have to take leverage on the power of the internet to reach out to all the people that we need to do, because that remains the only power that we can use to actually incubate and achieve all the results that we need to get in the various regions. We're not really going to get them to be mobile as it were and all of that, no. But encouraging that this happens in their various locations is what I mean.
But for us to get those local government chairmen to talk to them, they have to be like an opening ceremony for the whole thing.
Yeah, so I said, I think there's something like that. I know the Honorable from Nasarawa said so, yes.
From the village, they will just think, no, these people are just wasting my time. But if they see them, they actually engage them. Yes. They will be serious about it.
Yes.
They'll be serious about it. Here they value physical contact more than this virtual thing. So it's
you are very correct. You are very correct. Yeah, you are very correct. Yes.
We start from the state capital and engage the little we can from here.
Yes.
But getting the time is not going to be easy. Even the government itself, we are bringing a hell lot of, because at the end everything is going to rest on them. So they will think we are bringing a lot of work for them. So it's better if we just start with very small number and see how we'll finish. Then later on, maybe we'll send it to other places.
That's right. That's right. Okay. All right. So there now comes the idea of the local government portals now. That comes the idea of the local government portal. So the local government that we are sure of, we can begin to work on their portals. Is that right?
Yes.
That's right. Nasarawa anymore? Oh, Tassio, you were off.
Yeah, I had a bit of network issue here.
Okay. So we needed your input. We needed your input as to some of those things that I put together, so that on the general ideas, because we are talking about getting to start up. How do we get our 2,500 in the States? And that you people have a lot of work to do in validating almost everybody on the incubation. It's very important, is actually very, very important. The strategy is the best way, not just that we are, oh, fine, the portal is available, begin to go and register. No, I think it won't work. It won't really work, because we really need to know who is registering, and this person needs to come to terms with what we are doing, and not just that is coming to join us because something is just being done by government and things like that, and they'll just take it as if it's one cheapy, smally thing they should just gloss over with and just join for the fun of joining, and nothing really to show for it in the end, which I don't think is the essence of the program. So what's your take? What should be the strategy? You are muted. Oh, Tassi is still having a connection problem. Yeah, Madam Najat, is your sound okay now? Can we also hear from you? Though I've gotten the opinion of from Zamfara now. Abdullah Abubakar, can you also share one or two things?
Yes, sir.
Yes. What do you think?
According to what Madam Melania has said,
Yes.
it is very, very hard for us to connect with all those chairmen of the others local government.
Yes.
Because of the security issue
Security
and
issue.
some others
That's all
that
right.
we are facing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So inshallah, we'll provide
Okay. So
suitable.
that now what you just advise you do, particularly, let's begin to see how we work with the local government to know how many local governments we can begin to. But then it's good when we can actually consolidate. Let's know how many local governments we know we can actually work from, and then we keep our minimum at that level. And programs can happen in cohorts, if you understand what I mean.
Yes, I understand. We'll provide such, inshallah.
Yes, yes. Okay, right. Let me hear from Abdulaziz.
Yes, I just want to call our attention to the fact that we shouldn't be bringing insecurity as a setback to realizing the goals of this program. If insecurity is a problem, then ICT is a solution to the problem of insecurity. That in Zamfara, schools were closed for 4 months just because of insecurity. If children cannot study at their schools, let them study at the comfort of their homes. Let the state government provide an e-learning platform.
That is my.
So
that's
please,
my
in this house, I don't want us to be bringing insecurity as a problem to ICT solution.
I think I'm actually on that protocol too, but at the same time, it's important to know. I know it's a mindset change. We're working with different class of people. I understand what that means too. Okay, great. Any more so that we don't overstretch the meeting? Then please, I want to raise a question, perhaps to the female. Please, how can the female help us with the rest of the other females who are not here so that they can perhaps take this program a lot more seriously? Let's don't look at gender as a weak point for this project, because I look at the male and female, it must be a balanced affair for me, not just for anything. Take, for instance, look at the time we took a ballot now to determine the head of house and the deputy head of house. And the community wasn't complete because we had more male than the female when we all had the fair and equal opportunity. I think we should try and improve on this, because look at that, the outcome came and we only have a male outcome as head of house and a male outcome for deputy head of house. And it might be looking as if we did Ojoro. What Yoruba people say Ojoro. Do you know what Ojoro means? What is it in Hausa?
Ojoro means chua-chua.
Chua again. Yes, I know. I remember my days in Kano some years back. When I hear chua, I know what it means. Thank you so very much, everyone. So please, let's get any more input so that we don't drag for too much. Tassi, do you still have something to share? Okay, Madam Osman, go ahead, please.
Okay, nothing much for now.
Okay.
But what I think we should all do is we should have this program at the back of our minds. We should sleep with it and wake up with it so that one day we realize,
Thank you.
no, because now we are just starting.
Yes, yes.
We don't know, and a lot of people are going to benefit from this.
That's right.
So of our mind that what we are doing it for our own people.
Yeah.
We are doing it for our own good.
Yeah.
Because countries out there are far better than Nigeria in terms of ICT and other, many countries now you see them using information technology in so many ways.
Yeah.
They use them all over. Everywhere is technology.
Yes, yes.
Unlike Nigeria, now we don't use credit cards everywhere. We use cash, So there are a lot of things we need to implement. And as you say, anyways, we should do our best. We should do our best because we can't get it by force for us.
Thank you very
But we'll
much.
do our
Very well. Thank you so very much. And I'm sure you can agree with me. This is not the kind of trouble we should be leaving to our leaders. They won't have that time. They have better things to do. They have better things to do. And that is why it's good to always think for ourselves what is best for us. So on the strength of that, I will leave you to continue your weekend. And more information I may have, I'll share it in the group. And you also would help in the strategy thinking of how best. So because for me, we better start well. We should just start well. You know what it is to start and fail? That is part of programming. Once algorithm is wrong, we should expect a wrong outcome. And the same way it is in every aspect of life correction today. We've missed it, but we're just trying to see how we can do an anti-clockwise walk and regather ourselves and see how, not just that we are doing it for ourselves, regrowing a generation that should understand themselves of what they need to do now. And they should do it as inexpensively as possible and should be so loving doing this. So thank you so very much. One final word again, anyone? Or somebody to close. Who came late should close the meeting. Please, in our future meetings, the latecomer will be the one to close the meeting. So, who is the latecomer? Anybody here latecomer?
I think I'm the one, sir.
Okay, you can close the meeting, please.
Actually, I wish us all the best. I wish us all the best.
Thank
Please,
you, thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. Thank you, everyone. Nice meeting there.